Hey everyone, it's Walter Wally. I'm the one giving this little disclosure at the beginning here. So this is our Detective Pikachu episode, and Ryan thought it was a good idea to sing along with the Pokemon theme song. Unfortunately, you can't hear him or Carl or Hannah sing at all. You just hear the music, so it's going to be a big no-no on YouTube. So that's why that is cut out, and we just go straight to the review. So just letting you guys know. Hope you like it. Bye.
And we're strapped in.
And we're strapped in and ready to go. Ready to feel the power of Pokemon. And you can't hear anything, Wally?
Now I can hear you.
You can't hear anything?
Can you hear me?
Talking? I don't have headphones on.
Carl, can you hear me?
Carl. No,
Speak.
You little,
Speak.
you little cum dumpster.
I can definitely hear myself.
You can definitely hear yourself. That's good because you're plugged into the one where you can only hear yourself.
Oh, good.
Nice. So if you enjoyed our musical rendition of the Pokemon theme song, then you're definitely gonna kind of love our endgame review. We're doing a second one. We haven't released the first one yet, but we just love this movie so much. The second time for me, it's the third time. For everybody else, it's the second time.
Whoa. This would be my third.
Yeah, okay. Me and Carl saw it 3 times. This last time was really weird.
Became a noir, dude.
Yeah, it was like a modern noir. There was a lot of creatures. I don't know if they just the remastered one or something. They did a lot of off-Earth stuff. A lot of Groots. A lot of raccoons. There was a lot of other Rocket Raccoons around. Only one of them talked though, so I think that was the.
Deadpool.
I think somebody.
Deadpool's in this movie.
Deadpool is finally in the Marvel movies again. Finally.
Yes, he should be.
Well, I mean, he was in X-Men and stuff like that, and he has his own Marvel stuff. So he's finally in the Avengers stuff, which is great. It was only his voice to start out with, and he was somebody spray painted Rocket Raccoon and gave him he was handsome interracial dad. He's the father of an interracial child, is what I mean by that. Not that he is interracial.
No, he's very much a white dude.
Yeah, he's very much a white dude.
Except in the moment you don't see him as a character, it's just like, that's Ryan Reynolds.
No, he's still a white dude. He's the whitest Pikachu. He's the whitest Pikachu. Yeah, so guys, we're reviewing Detective Pikachu. White Pikachu. the
shiny Pikachu.
White Pikachu, the story of how cops, as long as they hear that somebody is white, will not shoot you. Even if it's a Pokemon.
Yeah.
We're going.
It's okay, bro. I'm a white Pokemon.
It's okay. I'm white.
On the inside.
Okay, that's all we need to know. Talk one more time. Okay, that's Ryan Reynolds. He's white. He's good. He's good. Always just have a white voice, guys. Learn. Be Trevor Noah, because that dude can do any sort of white guy voice ever, and also a couple of Valley Girls. So yes, his Valley Girls are pretty good. So so we're talking about Detective Pikachu. The first soiree in live action Pokemon movies. Let's go right off the bat. So what did everybody think?
First impressions,
Carl. First impressions of your dick in the bottom of the popcorn jar.
I loved it.
Your dick in the bottom of the popcorn jar? Good.
Oh, and the movie. And the movie. You know, I love both.
The movie was alright. Yeah.
I love both. I mean, I love a salty, buttery penis, you know?
Which is this movie.
You know what, guys? Carl also removed his ribs. He can suck his own dick, so that's why he knows what a salty, buttery penis tastes like. But I would say, I think Wally is absolutely right that Detective Pikachu is the salty, buttery penis of movies.
That we all need. So what
we all need it right now. It's a family-friendly movie, and just make sure to get a lot of popcorn and with that extra butter, and get those bottom 2 ribs removed. All I'm saying,
please have your ribs removed before you go see Detective Pikachu.
Sit in the front. Actually, see if you can pivot your chair.
If you sit in the front, you're going to have your whole rib cage removed.
You're not even going to sit at that point. You're
do not do ab workouts. Do an elective surgery to have all of your ribs removed. Probably some of your internal organs, maybe like.
You're really thinking this through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what, guys?
You don't need your appendix.
You
Finally
don't-
get that shit removed.
Yeah, if they're removing your ribs, just say, you know what? Let's do the gallbladder, the
Yeah,
appendix,
take one of the
the bottom
lungs.
2
You need
ribs.
just one lung.
One of the lungs, yes.
left
Keep
lung,
the
that's
other
the
one
bad
for
one.
you know
And you're
cloning
gonna fund
purposes.
This process once you sell the kidney that you had removed during.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
you keep your.
You have to go to Canada for that
Yeah.
though. It's illegal
it's
in the
illegal.
U.S. So just be aware. Yeah, plan ahead. Take that trip to Canada that you guys
This,
have always
this
wanted.
It's gonna cost you like
Then see this.
$50,000.
Yeah, $50,000.
To
Okay.
properly see it. So
Carl loved
Why
it.
did you love it, Carl?
Yeah, Carl. First impressions.
I loved it because it was like a live action Pokemon movie.
No, it
and
was a
so-
live
I
action.
know it was.
Carl,
I know it
those
was.
were
It wasn't
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it
They
was.
cloned
It's
real
like
Pokemon.
totally live action.
It is like
Like-
totally
like-
the best Pokemon movie ever.
What?
It's no. Well, I like this movie a lot, but it was no Pikachu's Vacation.
Fuck
Clearly
off.
this-
That is the dumbest. That is the dumbest Pokemon movie ever. Okay, so you know what? We totally neglected to inform you guys. So I'm Ryan. That's Wally.
I'm Wally.
That's Carl.
We
and
should,
we have a
like-
special
yeah.
guest. Why
I
don't
guess.
let's have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
Yay!
Hannah, what is your relation to this podcast? Are you a long-time listener? Do you just absolutely love this podcast and everybody in it? Like, you're a
I'm a
super
fan
fan,
club.
right? That's why we have you on. You're a super fan.
You're the president.
You're the president and only member, besides Grant Liberta.
Yeah, I have pictures of all you guys on the wall, and I huddle in the dark corner of my room, and I just go,
We actually did like a sexy calendar a couple of months
Yeah.
back.
oh my god.
Got
Wally,
sold out, yeah.
it's basically me and Carl have one picture apiece, and the rest is like very graphic naked stuff from Wally. Like
I
they
was
tried
like,
to do.
I wanted to commit to this
They tried to do-
calendar,
he
right?
tried to
Give
do-
me a sexy calendar. I'm gonna get as
He's
many angles from all
jacked,
different places.
And he also hired the body paint Sports Illustrated people, and he did
That's
everything
pretty
but
expensive.
his dick.
Yeah.
He did the balls. The balls were 2 Pokeballs for this month.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
balls were
Pokeball month.
Thanos' chin for the last one.
And Thanos.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, we're going movies. We're going movies.
Yeah.
We're going. May
Next will be
is
Godzilla's dick.
May is Detective Pikachu. April is Thanos.
June is John Wick.
June. No.
No, it's
Fuck
Godzilla.
you.
Fuck.
June is actually it's a mix between Chucky from Child's Play and Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's a
And
giant.
John Wick.
And no, well, that's just
Put a pistol in his hand. There's John
no.
Wick.
All he did was just he had a little string attached to his dick, and he said, "Look at my John Dick."
Yeah. Your car.
You're wrong.
Yeah, it's like it's a motion graphic.
Instead
yeah,
of John Wick, it's no. You just it's a still picture of you with a string on your dick.
Moving
So
forward.
Wally, first
Yeah.
impressions.
Ending this discourse.
It was a lot better than I was expecting. Like where this movie needs to succeed, and that's in the Pokemon, it definitely does. Story's kind of weak, but I found it really enjoyable.
Yep. I can agree on that. Hannah,
I like the Bulbasaurs.
No
They're cute.
Bulbasaur.
she likes the bulbous swords, guys.
They were so
She's
bulbous.
Perverted. She's the most perverted.
They
They
really
had
did.
these giant growths on their back. It was disgusting.
They
They were just
chirped. I want
vegetating.
one.
Scoot a little closer to the
Yeah.
mic, because Wally likes to shout.
I didn't notice.
What? No, I would agree with Wally and Carl and Hannah. I really love
That's your
this.
first impressions. Bulbasaur was cute.
Bulbasaur is cute, yeah. And it seems like that's the only thing she said about this movie. So maybe that's the only impressions he has. That's okay.
Just
Um,
until
Close
that
my
part, I'm
eyes
like,
up to
babe.
that point.
Obviously, we're so
Bulbasaur's a
we are
show.
so skilled at movie reviewing at this point that like having an amateur come in, like
You
it's
know,
cute,
it's
it's
very,
so
yeah,
fun.
we do it, yeah.
It's so
to
great
appease
to
the
like
little fan.
such a
I think it
normie.
was really badly paced. I think that they used a lot of blurry shots because there was so much CGI.
Yeah,
I
that's
think that the actor
The whole
who
like
played
turtle scene
him
was like a
was
blurry
really
mess.
bad, and that the only reason he seemed to get better towards the end of the movie was with the added effects, and of course Ryan Reynolds carrying the performance on his animated back.
This isn't the fuck this part of the show.
Yeah,
Please, Hannah.
Antigone.
Like, jeez
Just
Louise.
get back to the Bulbasaur.
It's-
The Bulbasaur.
Just
really
pull
cute.
some punches.
Yeah, pull some punches. We have a segment specifically for this. No, I agree with everybody. I think
we should
it's a
go
really
through
good
it.
movie. I think it has a lot of merit to it. It does a lot of really good stuff. The CGI, I think for the most part looked really good, except for a couple of very bad spots. When
Yeah.
he gave him his hat back, he was like he just went like this and threw it at nothing. It wasn't an actual hat. He just made the gesture of throwing the hat, and they kind of worked around it. It was bad.
Just like throwing goop.
Like no, like there was nothing in his hand because it was all going to be CGI, and like he just kind of it looked like he threw it, and then all of a sudden Pikachu grabbed it and put it on, and it just looked bad.
It was better when there were scenes where it was just him and Pikachu talking to one another. Because, you had that quick pace, quippy Ryan Reynolds jokes going on, and they worked well off.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like, Once Upon a Deadpool is probably my favorite Deadpool movie, so, it's fine.
Good for the whole family.
It's good for the whole family.
Alright,
No,
we should
it's
give,
a
a
thing.
quick, log line of this movie.
Log
so
line.
people who don't really... Okay, so...
So, longtime fans will love it.
Longtime fans will love it. It's a story of a man coexisting with this...
A man learning to coexist with Pokemon.
With Pokemon.
Because, it starts out and he's just like, I don't want anything to do with any sort of Pokemon. And by the end, he's like, this is fine. He doesn't find his own Pokemon.
Yeah, I did kind of like that. I wish they kind of leaned into it more. The whole idea, this kid really liked Pokemon when he was younger, but he's like, oh, I've grown out of it. I'm too big for that stuff.
Like, what? Now we don't know what happened. Like, what happened that caused him to just be like, is it just like growing up? Is that like the generic thing that they're going to say?
An allegory for fans of these series, us specifically, just longtime fans, we really liked it
leave
growing.
Carl out of this because he's still a hardcore fan.
It's I liked this a lot when I was younger, but I definitely did kind of grow out of it at one point. And
Yeah.
I definitely could see myself in this Tim character.
Oh yeah, I felt like, but that's the interesting thing to me because it means that he never had Pokemon, but he wanted to be a Pokemon trainer. Like his mom died when he was 11. It seemed like that was the turning point.
I mean,
why didn't he catch a Pokemon before that?
Pokemon lore, yeah.
Like,
isn't it when you turn 10 you get a Pokemon?
Yeah, when you turn 10
Yeah,
is
it's
when you
like-
get your first Pokemon.
Yeah,
so
so
I
his
thought it
mom
was a
died at
little weird
11.
that he
What the
didn't have
fuck?
at least his first.
He should have had his first.
Yeah, at the very least.
Exactly. So what the fuck happened with this shit, man?
Dude, I
What
love the
happened?
Cubone
You know
at
what?
the
You know
beginning.
what? This movie sucks.
It's bad.
No.
Don't make no
Okay.
sense.
Yeah. So that's first impressions. I guess. Yeah.
It's getting good.
It's in the good
Pokemon
stuff.
look
Yeah.
great.
So yeah. I guess.
That's
Yeah. We
kinda
can go
what
on it.
would
Yeah.
make or
What's?
break this movie.
It really was. Like. I mean.
So soft.
In the
Yeah.
they did like Pikachu, like even his they soft focused his face, or they soft CGI'd his face, so it looked even softer than the rest of his body.
He looked
I'm like, that's
chubbier than others.
fucking
when he was
cute.
scrunching up his face,
Yeah.
chubbier. I'm like, that's the whole Pikachu. I
Yeah.
remember the fat Pikachu.
I like his side profile where he doesn't even look like he has a nose.
Dude,
Yeah, just squished into
his
face.
tail. That was
That-
cool as hell.
It was
Because
kinda
you
it
never
was kinda
knew.
cool, how geometric, even the hair on the tail.
Yeah. And the fact
how
that he has
it's
hair
cut,
on his tail, because that was kind of something I never really thought about. Is
Right.
does he have hair on his tail, or is it
No,
is
he
it
had,
kind of
the
like
right
a
dimension to it.
platypus sort of thing, or like a
Oh
beaver?
yeah, okay.
Where
I
it's
can see
where
that.
it's
Does
like
it have a sheen to it?
yeah, or like if it's scaled or something like that. But no, it's all the way fur up, but it still holds that geometric shape.
Drawing of platypus Pikachu.
Okay.
Pikachu.
Platy Pikachu.
Awesome.
That's just a side note.
Platychu.
Platychu. That's Raichu's though. Platychu is Raichu. That's the
And
evolution.
you know what?
Platypi-
Raichu was also in the best Pokemon movie, Pikachu's Vacation, where he's rivals with Pikachu. It's adorable.
Hey
It's a
Wally,
little-
what's your
they
favorite
save,
movie of all time?
Pikachu's
Godzilla bullshit.
Godzilla bullshit.
That's enough. That's enough.
Just 2 hours of Godzilla fighting all his
No,
monsters.
he's taking a bunch of shits.
Godzilla.
Godzilla's constipation adventure. That's the movie I want to like the movie that I want to see for.
Yeah, it's my favorite
The new
movie.
Godzilla.
Trying to shame me for my
I am.
movie taste.
I am. I'm saying that you have bad taste in movies. You saw Speed Racer instead of the third Iron
This
Man.
is true. I don't know if we
Or
mentioned
the
this
first
on
Iron
the
Man.
podcast.
No, we did.
Yes,
But
we
wait,
We
did.
did. We brought
When
it up
Iron
last
Man
time.
1 came out, all my friends were like, let's clearly see this.
It may have gotten
They never
deleted.
like told me they were gonna see Iron Man.
No,
so
we
I come
did.
out of the theaters and from seeing Speed Racer and I see all my friends.
Don't
to see
act like
Iron
we
Man
didn't invite
instead.
you. We invited you. You
No,
came.
you guys didn't
You
invite
came
me.
with us, and
No, I
then you
went with my
said, you know what?
parents.
No. Well, you were
Because
at
my
the
parents
theater,
asked
and
me,
we
like,
said,
"Oh, do you
"Come."
want to see Speed Racer or Iron Man?" And I'm like, "I want to see Speed Racer."
Well, we
Iron
said-
Man looks
oh,
boring
God.
as fuck.
That's insane. Like bonkers.
Dude, Speed
So
Racer
that's what you
was my
guys.
bad.
That's how you can judge Wally's taste in movies. No. So yeah, I guess. So Carl,
this, yeah,
what
like,
what is
ended
the
up crazy
standout?
stuff.
Yeah, like this was great. It was. I think it was.
I feel they went
I don't know.
for
I
more
think
of
it
the
was
crazy
well paced, but I
Pokemon
think
stuff.
it was mostly just the show off of the CGI.
I feel like it kind of got muddled, like maybe towards like the second half of the movie, like him meeting Pikachu, like that's all the fun stuff, and then just kind of like getting into wacky antics, running into like other Pokemon was a lot of fun. But like once the plot starts becoming more focused, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah, up until I would say up until like he sees Mewtwo again.
Yeah,
I thought that was like a really cool like
I really
world
liked
building
it.
thing. Is that like there was like bug type Pokemon on the leaves of the tree that were just out of focus, and then they'd see them
I
kind of
didn't even
pop off
notice
and
that.
stuff. Yeah, so when he's walking through the thing leading when Pikachu's hurt and he's taking it to that spot.
Oh, you mean so they're not the little like mushroom things?
No,
that
no,
are on
no,
the walls?
no. It's like soft focused, or it's focused on the action, but on the sides there's like leaves, and then there's like these little ring things on there that
Yeah,
are like
I think they were
orange.
Ladybug, which are
Probably.
little
Yeah, I don't know.
ladybug
yeah.
Oh,
Pokemon.
yeah.
Well,
If
no,
we
'cause
have
they
any
were like-
confusion
they were
on
like
the Pokemon
tubes.
names, we'll be like,
It was like tubes because they were in rings, and then
Oh.
they stared to move off, and then one of them flew away. So it was like
okay,
little
okay,
dots.
yeah, like flower rings.
yeah, what's that one?
Yeah,
Something
okay,
like that.
that's a comfy.
A
A
comfy?
I probably
Cum-
mispronounced it, but it's
something like
it's
Cum-
something
it's a
like
cum on me.
comfy or something like
Come
that.
on, me.
They're just
Uh,
all
It-
on the
I was
fly around
watching this
the
movie
show.
and I'm like, okay, what gens are they gonna have?
They had a lot.
Yeah.
And they had gens 1 through 7. Like most of the movie was
Did they
with
have any
gens
Gen
1
7?
through 6. Yeah, the Comfey.
Oh, okay.
It was a Gen 7. It was the only Gen 7 Pokemon
Yeah,
that
was
I
waiting for,
noticed
like,
in
a
this movie.
Incineroar.
Yeah, I was wait. I that would have been great in that like fight thing
Yeah,
instead of
that would
having all
make
the
sense
stupid
there.
little Charmanders. That's the thing is that they lean heavily like
It
why
was
would
a
they
did
be,
lean
Gen
heavy.
why
1
wouldn't they
heavy.
be using like Bulbasaur's or not Bulbasaur? Sorry.
Well, they had Gengar fighting Blastoise. That was
But
pretty
why wouldn't they have
awesome.
like a Blastoise or what's the one after?
Sorry, now you're
What's the
gonna
one in
get
between?
confused.
It's Squirtle. It's
Wartortle.
Wartortle. Why wouldn't they have like Wartortles fighting the fire in that first scene or something like? Because I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like they had Squirtles, and it's like okay, yeah, that
Because
they
people
want.
know.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
have them-
that was, I think, like an Easter egg, the firefighting you're talking about.
Yeah, and there is an
that I think
episode
was
of
a
that.
Easter egg for the Squirtle Squad in
Yeah,
the
but-
one anime.
but the
Yeah, I
Squirtle
was
Squad
waiting
is
for
like
one
an
of, yeah,
they're like
one of them
they're
should have had the sunglasses.
yeah, that would have been cool. But I
Squad sounds like a bunch of cam girls.
it is.
They are, and they're all squirrels. Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing is that the original show is way darker than anybody actually remembers. They were like cam girls. Yeah, they were wearing like scantily clad clothes. Like one of
The
them
Japanese
pulls
version,
up
what's
like
his face,
their
James
garters,
says-
like really, or the pantyhose.
Yeah.
It's like a pantyhose show, and like it starts like it's clear that they have blue skin and very stubby legs, but it
They
starts
think they're
out.
sexy.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
yeah.
pull it off.
It's fucked up.
They're
They're
called
like
the
to the camera
Squirter
and draw
Squad.
me like one
The
of your
Squirter
French-
Squad. Nice, Carl.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. No, but God, yeah, I don't know.
Did you-
this
That's a good question.
this
like, Carl,
podcast is
were
gonna
you
be on the
able to tell,
rails.
like which Pokemon like was which? Like were I don't know.
What?
Like, could you,
It was so distinct, Wally. It's not like they were just a
well, was there any
jumble.
one of
The movie
those where you're like,
starts-
I'm not sure which one that is.
The movie starts and he turns to me and he goes, "That's a Pokeball."
I'm like,
Pokemon?
No.
Was there one where you're like, I'm not sure what that one's supposed to be?
No, actually.
Yeah.
He's been.
Did you know all the like? Could you name all the Pokemon in this movie?
in
Okay,
alphabetical order.
Not in alphabetical
From,
order.
and also
I probably
in,
could not
in
name
list
them
of
all. I
appearance.
probably would miss
What
about
was
a
that
handful.
like really like that big pink bunny one that was like by that like one snippy news
Oh
reporter?
yeah.
What was that one called? I haven't seen that one before.
Big
You know, in the parade where
Yeah, it's the news
one,
reporter who was
the one
like,
intern
"Give me
is
my
trying,
coffee."
Like, oh, yeah.
The news.
I didn't even notice there was
We
a
need to
Pokemon.
see
It
it
was like
again.
a big, yeah, like
Yeah, he's fat. And he's got pink eyes, or they've got pink eyes.
they had blue eyes, but they were pink.
They have blue eyes,
They
but
had
they
blue
were
eyes, but
paint.
their fur was pink.
I thought they had like start when
Does
they
this help at all, Carl?
Oh.
No.
Fat pink Pokemon. Hey Siri.
No, that's Lickitung, dude. Lickitung.
Dude, that
man.
was such a
When
great. Yeah,
Lickitung
he just
showed up,
that
yeah.
randomly licks him in the.
No, he's the second
Who's-
one's Lickitung.
Whose Lickitung is this?
It's like, oh yeah,
So
he does
great.
that.
Yeah, but I don't know what I like.
I thought like
This
yeah.
review is gonna be all over the
Oh,
place.
It
'cause,
is
like,
all over.
there's
the
so
story.
much to talk about, but also it's kind of and it kind of goes back to Hannah's. This movie's pretty disorganized, so like
Well,
it's
we could-
mostly
yeah. Well, we can go on to what our favorite parts are and what's good about this movie and what we could like.
The start and ending I thought was good. The middle is where it started getting all choppy.
Yeah, it gets a little choppy because they try to like, oh, we got to get all twisty with our plot.
Oh, is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
The Audino?
I don't know. Okay.
Pinky Tanks.
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know. Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, it is
movie, right?
Audino. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like
Yeah,
right
that's a
behind.
Gen 5 Pokemon.
Yeah, she was right behind
Oh, I
the
don't-
news
I
reporter.
don't know all this
I know
stuff.
you don't.
All
know
right.
that. Like everybody, the what, like 10 people you said that listen to this, they're gonna know that I'm like a super fan on this.
What? I'm pretty
No.
sure all those 10
What was the
people
panda
actually
one
already know.
called? I like the panda one too.
Yeah, the
Or,
big.
like the baby one and like the
Oh my
dad's like,
God.
oh, get
He
off
looked
me.
disgusting.
It was kind of,
Yeah.
it was a little creepy, but I totally dig that. Like, that was like a good scene where it's like, yeah, these things really feel like they just live in this environment.
Yeah, like the Clefairy that was,
Was
that
there
was
a
just
Clefairy, dude?
was no Jigglypuff that was
Oh,
just
yeah,
singing
just-
in the bar
I would
to
like
like.
to
that
her to
was
draw
awesome.
on the guy's face.
Oh, so yeah, that would have been cool, but she didn't. Have, oh yeah, she did have a microphone.
Yeah, the microphone is also
Yeah.
a marker.
Yeah,
That was
I know,
another
I know,
nod.
Carl. I know. I watched the first season.
Christ.
Christ. No, God, it was really, it honestly was just like, hey, let's throw every classic and like
Yeah.
somewhat
all the-
modern
yeah, it was
Pokemon.
Gen 1 heavy.
Yeah, it was
It
Gen 1
was.
heavy. It was very, like the intro, the first scene with Mewtwo breaking out was very reminiscent
That
of the
was-
first movie. Like,
And I love the little like
I
pot
wish
that
it was
he's in. It
Dragonite.
did remind me of Dragon Ball.
and then the little car reminded me of Bulma's car from
Yeah,
the
that's
original
true. Yeah,
Dragon Ball.
that's true.
I'm like, damn, this is so Japanese.
Yeah. And then you have Ken Watanabe.
Well, and now all I want is for there to be like a Dragon Ball live action that's actually
Yeah,
kind
when I
of
saw it at the
good.
beginning, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we are ready for an actually good live action Dragon Ball. movie.
Yeah, I think
But
as long
would
as
they
it's
have to look
tame.
kind of like the anime though, or could they like?
No,
be
that's
like
what we need to
actors?
steer away from. Is like we don't need it like image perfect to what the animes look like because those are all
'Cause
super dramatic, like
Would you want it
dramatized.
to look like this movie, where like they have the proportions of the anime, but they have like realistic textures though?
So what are you saying? Is that the like people are
The people
see,
look like the anime, but like you can tell
No,
like they
I-
have like skin. You can see their like pores and stuff.
well, so then you're just doing something like
Sorry,
the
we don't have pores.
well, then you're doing something that's like the new Lion King, where it's just like it's kind of pointless because
Well,
they
their
call
eyes
it
would
live
be
action.
the very like cartoony anime eyes,
Well,
where it's
but
like recognizable.
but why
like
wouldn't
the
you
one
just
pores.
hire like actors to play them that somewhat look like the characters, just don't have the insane hair or the anime eyes?
That's not gonna look cool though. The hair is what makes the characters identifiable.
Sure,
Well,
sure.
do you remember that fan made like Dragon Ball Z one that I showed you?
Was it with Krillin throwing like a?
No, it was with the androids and the
Yeah.
Oh,
Culture
that did
Trunks.
look
If the
pretty-
hair is
it
the
would
only
have to be
thing that
something
matters,
like that.
explain Krillin.
I think.
Okay, yeah.
it to be a
Krillin's just
really
a
good
bald
movie.
dude.
Yeah, well, once he's
That
not bald, then you're not gonna be
Yeah,
able to
if it was a
identify
bit
him.
more
It's not
expensive
bald.
like that, but I think like there's a lot of like Dragon Ball like games where like the intros look like quote unquote realistic with the textures, and I think if you that's what they did here, and I think that's kind of what you need to steer into when you make these kind of movies. Like we noticed, like this past week, like everyone's up in arms about the whole Sonic trailer because like he looks. He's too humanoid. That's the problem. He's too.
Well, they changed the design of the character to try and make him more humanoid, but it doesn't work.
It looks, yeah, it's uncanny. It's terrifying, and
He has noodle
there
legs.
are points like in this movie where like some of the Pokemon where you like focus on like some of their features, like
Charizard.
Yeah, where like their cartoony eyes, where they try to give them like veins in the eyes. That's like it's kind of creepy, but it never gets like too uncanny valley.
No, let's talk about that because
really
like
surprising.
I was kind of basically betting it's like if this movie doesn't do well, then Sonic is gonna have a chance. If this movie is good and does well, then I think Sonic's no matter how much they redesign it, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think the Sonic team
have to make
has
it exactly how the fans want. You're not gonna make everybody happy.
Well, yeah, but I don't think like even story wise, I don't think there's going to be anything compelling about the Sonic franchise. Like, there's
even
nothing
in this
compelling about the
movie,
Sonic
like,
franchise that.
They were like, oh, we're gonna set it in the Pokemon world. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, the Pokemon are coming to like our world. There were like some points where I'm like, okay, like how much can you really integrate like our world to the Pokemon world? Where they're like they have old detective movies, which I like that. Like that's a hint that this is an old noir thing. But
Yeah.
I'm like, would those really exist in this world?
What,
With
like-
Pokemon? Yeah.
Wait, like
The
detectives?
the old black and white like movies.
Oh yeah, I'm
was
sure
kinda
they
expecting,
will.
like, oh, they'd have like a Pokemon in the background in like an old black and white thing. I don't know.
That
could've
is
been
kind of
another
yeah.
deeper thing to like integrate it more to like this world.
They were
But you
saying
also
that-
only saw one two character. Like it's like
Yeah,
maybe because they cut pretty quickly away from like the mob boss. He probably had like it was probably just like the villain, the Team Rocket leader guy who has the what is that cat? The
Oh yeah,
Upgraded-
that's the bigger
Giovanni.
meow.
Persia? Is that
Oh,
is that-
Giovanni with his Persian.
Yeah, like he would be. There was
Oh, yeah,
probably
he's,
that
like,
cat.
stroking, like,
Yeah, there's
that
probably a
would've been
cat
cool.
sitting there, but it cut so quickly to the main like lead
They
detective.
were talking in the plot line that the guy who made Rhyme City had encouraged everyone to integrate, and that the Pokemon were living in the wild outside before
Rhyme
that.
Yeah,
So then if it's like black and white film and it's before his time, then
Yeah,
maybe
then
they
it-
didn't have.
that's true. Maybe it's not as integrated, but
But, there's, like,
we
Pokemon
also have the
trainers, though, so,
insane
like, people just have
flashback.
These as like pets. I did like that they steered away like because the whole conceit with Pokemon is it's legal cockfighting, so they're like, let's find a way to like kind of go around that so we can make this more kid friendly.
Yeah, so we
The
just
whole
saw two
setup
guys
felt
slamming their
very,
dicks
like,
together.
Zootopia-esque to me. Like I don't know if have you guys seen?
Oh yeah, it's yeah, it was very much Zootopia. Like it's
Where
like,
oh
yeah.
yeah, the predators are living with
What?
the herbivores.
What did you
Tourism.
plagiarism?
Plagiarism, no.
I mean,
No.
it's
Pokemon
practically
existed
the same
before
plot
Zootopia.
line. Like it's
Not-
anamorphic. They have the rage inducer. There's a buddy cop vibe.
That's actually really true.
Like the guy.
Oh, yeah,
who's
it-
the guy
it
who's
100%
the
is
bad
true.
guy.
Yeah,
But-
you know, yeah.
but-
oh my god.
Yeah.
They add a
All
human
things
a human
happy.
element to it that
Well, it's a kid's
Zootopia
movie, it's
doesn't
gotta
have.
be a kid
I
movie.
mean,
Yeah.
Mewtwo shows up in Zootopia.
Yeah, he does. That was the craziest part. Is those like she was trying to sneak into that secret thing, and the dog started howling at random shit, and then Mewtwo just
Wait,
comes
what
in
the
and just
fuck?
destroys
it was all
everything.
weird, like,
Yeah, he's just like kills all those dogs. It's fucked up. Like for a kids movie,
Yeah, dude, Mewtwo looked really
So
sweet in
happy
this
about
movie. I
it.
like
Yeah.
how like slimy he looked.
that was the
Like, it
one
was a
thing.
good,
Like
yeah, it's like yeah,
I think
he's the
they
one where I'm like, it
nailed
could look really
textures.
creepy if they like make him like too real, and like they found a good balance
yeah.
with that. Like,
But you also like he
he
did
looked
have
like-
texture and stuff to it. Like they did a good job of like making him look real. He kind of looked like God, what is his name? Yeah, he looked like
he
Kim
looked like-
He
yeah,
was
dude, they just
thick.
had-
Okay,
they just
Mewtwo
put
is.
that tail
Let's
on
do it.
Kim
Hash,
Kardashian.
hashtag
Speaking-
Mewtwo is thick.
cat peaches.
Um, no, he looked like Roger from American Dad. like-
I can
like
kinda see
when,
that.
and he kind of also looked like.
So, yeah, I can see that.
Well, we need to watch Your Highness because
is there a character?
there's a puppet character in there that there was occasionally when Mewtwo would make, because he never talks, so his mouth wouldn't move. Like he talks telepathically.
Yeah.
So like his face would kind of contort in certain ways, and it looked animatronic in the same way that in Your Highness, the puppet they use, like will scrunch up his face and look really weird because it's clearly just a hand or it's not like in a puppet.
Mewtwo makes me think of what would happen if you crossbred a dinosaur
And
like,
Kim
a hairless
Kardashian.
cat and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, you
'Cause
seem kind of
he's
like
thick.
surprised by his appearance. You're like, ooh. This,
But-
like when he appeared on screen, you're like, what is that
But
thing?
have you seen a picture of him in the like cartoon?
I saw it at the end. Credits.
Okay, because like it's a pretty spot on. Like
Yeah,
I
mean,
think
they
it's
gave him
the
texture where,
be-
like, he's
it's
slimy
the
and stuff.
best way to like try and realize that
Yeah.
character in the real world.
And that was, I don't know, that was such like a great opening for the fans. Like that's a big Easter egg right there. It's like, oh, we got you. This is like the first Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
It
Two
opens up the
voices
same way.
sounded really similar though. Mewtwo and what's his name? Henry, Harvey.
The bad guy,
Yeah, whatever his last.
the stupid
Oh.
scientist.
It was probably the
They
same
sound
actor
really
doing
similar.
the voice.
Well, are you sure you're not mistaking the fact that once he takes over the body, he's using his voice? Because I think they use the original
Oh.
voice from Mewtwo,
And
like
when-
in the cartoons, even like the dub at least.
Mhm.
Like it sounded when Mewtwo talked when he was actually
That's a good
Mewtwo.
question. I don't know if well, I can't tell you.
Yeah,
if
it sounded
actually
very close. Like it's a
far back.
deep
Yeah.
voice, but then once he took over it, they did use like the guy's voice for him. So like that you only hear Mewtwo speak like 3 times, maybe 2.
Yeah,
And
like-
there's repeated dialogue, so does it count? Because like they keep replaying the hologram. of
Well,
the
yeah, when
scene.
it's him talking in his voice,
Oh
it's a
yeah,
lot
I forgot about the
slower.
Holocaust.
The Holocaust.
You know,
Never
guys,
forget
Mewtwo-
it.
you know,
Mewtwo
guys,
is the
Hey,
Hey, that's 9/11. We never forget
We never
that.
forget
We never
that.
forget
Embrace it.
9/11 and 2016, the greatest year in
Yeah,
the
the
world.
greatest year for sports.
Why is that
But
one?
we're not going to talk
Jeez.
about
Why
the
is that
game
one?
happened
We're not
today.
gonna
Carl,
talk
did you
about
see
it.
the
Hey,
game?
Carl, did you see the score?
You see the score, Carl? Huh?
Oh,
Scoreboard.
we're not going to talk about
Scoreboard?
it. Yeah. We don't
We'll
need to
just
talk
say
about
that. We'll just say scoreboard. Scoreboard.
Brewers won.
Brewers.
0-7
Um.
against the Cubs.
I mean, you know, it happens. You know, this kind of shit, it happens, you know. You got to be
Wait,
prepared
the
for the worst.
Brewers
We
lost
suck.
or
No,
won?
Brewers won
Jesus
7-0.
Christ. Damn it.
We suck.
You know, Carl, still scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
How are the Bucks doing?
They actually
I
won
know
their
they're doing
series.
really good.
They
Yeah.
are. The
Let's just
Eastern
talk about
Conference
now
Finals.
this
Hey,
man.
guys.
segment of
Sports
the-
podcast.
It's sports talk.
Sport ball.
Sport ball.
Sport ball.
Throwing them balls on the
Motor
courts
ball.
and hitting things with other things.
With other things for a slam
Yeah,
dunk. in
for
the end
we're
zone.
dunking that baseball through the
Strikeout.
stratosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it into the end zone.
Moving on.
Dude, and then Pikachu used his
Discussing
vault
Pokemon.
attack and it was fucking sweet.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Anyway.
Anyway,
You do get to see them fight, so don't think they
you do
tanked
see
it
a
too much.
solid fight
Solid
scene.
battle.
I love phalluses.
Stop trying to make out with the microphone.
I
Quinn.
lo-
You're so
I can barely hear you
Dude, and
guys.
Charizard, he looked badass as heck, dude.
He did.
So
He looked
scary. I
great.
liked his scar.
Yeah, I liked
He
his
was-
scar.
He was my favorite.
And I like
well,
how
he was
it's-
so Charizard was my favorite as a kid, and seeing him in this
Of course
movie,
he
I'm like,
is.
there
He's
he
just-
is.
He's
the
a
orange
moody.
guy
He's a
from-
moody bitch.
Yeah.
He's a moody bitch in the original anime, and he was a moody
Dude, yeah,
bitch.
I remember sometimes in the anime,
He would
it'd
just-
be like Charizard attack him, and he'd like fall asleep.
Well, that's an entire like 6-episode arc where he like doesn't listen once he
Dude,
evolves.
6 episodes. That
It
thing
might
went
go
from
on.
the end of
Season.
the Kanto series into the start of the Johto
That's right, because
series.
don't they send him off where he just like he leaves him somewhere, like he leaves him sleeping on a tree or something, and it's just like I can't deal with you, Charizard. And then
He took
Charizard
abandons
finally,
him
then
in the
Charizard
woods.
finally comes back once he's like, oh, I like Ash, and I can, yeah.
That's so
no, what
funny,
happens
Really
is
like Ash Quinn.
he goes into the
Smack
Orange
that thick
Islands
ass.
to. He goes to the Orange Islands, which was like their bridge between Kanto
worlds.
and Johto.
Yeah.
And then, so Charizard becomes ill like he was when he was a Charmander.
Sick dog.
Ash takes care of him, and then he was like, okay, my trainer actually cares about me. Then
Dude,
he
you
starts
guys
Because
listening.
the original one, how he got the Charmander is that he was waiting for his master
Yeah.
in the rain, and he almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was mixing it up with. But yeah,
You guys remember in
Relationship goals.
Pikachu's Vacation where Charizard
I mean,
freaks out
you're
and
clearly
gets
the
his head
trainer.
stuck in like a rock or whatever? It's like totally a Winnie the Pooh situation. And then Pikachu and Raichu have to team up to get Charizard out of the hole. It's the best part of the film, dude.
Hey, Wally, why don't you shut the fuck up about
Pikachu's
goddamn
Vacation,
Pikachu's Vacation? Do you guys remember the episode where they went to this island and there was giant Pokemon, but then they turned out to just be robots?
Where-
Oh,
Was
yeah,
it
it
the
was an amusement
tentacles?
park.
Are we
Yeah, it was like the amusement park. It was
No,
weird.
we're talking about the cartoon.
We're talking about the cartoon.
Yeah, we're talking about the anime
Yeah.
now. It's not a cartoon, it's an anime.
That's not an anime.
It's not an anime.
No. It's an animated show, but I don't think it's technically
It's
considered
animated
anime.
doodles.
It's animated drawings, Carl. It's not anime.
You still said
Anime
anime.
laughing.
It's not anime.
Drawing.
I don't think so. Ooh, Funimation.
So other good parts of this movie.
Yeah,
don't
favorite
laugh, I
scenes.
watch
Let's
that shit.
let's do
Okay,
favorite
favorite
scenes.
Okay, favorite scene. Wally, let's start with you.
Dude, Charizard and his like trainer, just the shirtless like jerk. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is a great.
It's
like,
such a
trainer
great
for
duo,
Charizard.
yeah.
With the Charizard tattoo.
Yeah,
I do
it's
like
the-
that. I'm like, oh, that
around
would
the
be
chest
me
and neck.
in this universe is that guy.
Yeah, yeah. Of
No, that
course.
was great.
That
Like, I
would,
did
wait,
like that.
hold
it was
on.
just, like,
Did you
underground.
say that would be you?
Yeah,
No, it would not.
yeah.
Not at all. You would
It's my
be
dream.
you would be his best friend at the beginning, and you would have like a Charmander,
That's
and
true.
it wouldn't evolve.
That's true. That's true. Oh yeah, his friend. That's
You
true. I
beta male bitch.
completely forgot about the friend that just gets. Yeah, he's just there for. Was that the guy who was the taxi driver in Deadpool?
No, it was M. Night Shyamalan.
Baby M. Night. Yeah.
What a twist.
What a twist! Yeah, he got younger.
No, yeah, I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure because
So
I've
my
never
favorite
actually
scene,
seen
yeah, it's
Deadpool.
Like we go to this underground fight area where they're like, oh yeah, they're not supposed to be doing this, and then you get to see the old school like Blastoise fighting Gengar, which was really fucking cool. Yeah, at one point, you just want to see these things fight because that's all the game wasn't.
Yeah.
They did, and it was great.
Yep. Okay, so that's your favorite part, Hannah? I think we already know. Oh, my
Ditto.
star.
Oh, Ditto was my second favorite scene.
Nobody's asking.
Dude,
You
Ditto.
punk ass bitch.
It was so
That's
good.
the second segment, Wally. We do 18 different segments.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm changing
God.
my favorite scene to Ditto because that was legitimately creepy when he was like the human but had the Ditto's eyes. I'm like, that is the most disturbing thing. I love it. I love that Ditto was a bad
The
guy.
reveal where the girl, she takes.
Yeah, that was so fucked up.
It was really good.
Ditto was my favorite scene.
Okay, Hannah.
I think it was a really pretty shot when they're walking
Bulbasaur.
with the Bulbasaurus and the water. It's just nice lighting, and it just
Yeah,
looks
no, it
like
was
a place
very
that would be
cute.
really cool to hike to. But if I had to
It
pick a
was
second,
very
wait, I changed.
Ditto?
My
These
first choice
goddamn
is-
animals. They don't know how the segment works. Carl.
Wait, I want to change my
Okay, guys, we gotta do something here. I muted myself. That was it.
Yes, do it again.
No, I didn't actually
Okay, so
mute
what was
myself.
your
I just
favorite?
shut off the.
No, I was just making fun of you.
Okay, so that's your favorite?
Yeah, that
Okay.
was just a really pretty shot. Either that
Carl.
or when
Ryan
Pikachu was-
Reynolds, Pikachu, singing
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pokemon theme song on the bridge.
Golly,
Could
that's
catch 'em
so-
all.
Oh, it's so true.
That was
yeah,
my
those-
So
favorite.
does the
That's
show
pretty great.
exist in this universe?
That is an interesting question.
Like, where did they get that?
Yeah, where did that
Is there
theme
a
song come
statue
from?
dedicated to
Or is
Ash?
that a
Yeah,
is
dude,
that is that a subtle nod to Deadpool who is constantly referencing his own like comics and stuff like that? Like is that like a self-referential like
Maybe.
nod?
Maybe it's just a pop song that's really popular.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
And it's
Nicki
not
Minaj.
offensive.
I mean, it does make sense. Like
Oh,
it is.
would Nicki
It
Minaj's
would be
like Pokemon Buddy be?
So
Mewtwo.
No,
'cause
it would be Mewtwo.
he's
It would-
thick
it would
as
be,
he's thick
no,
as
it'd be
hell.
Jinx. It would be Jinx.
Jinx? Oh, it would be
No.
Jinx. No,
No, it would be the Snubble. Like the detect.
Snubble?
Yeah,
that is not a
yeah,
Pokemon.
That was just that guy's dog, dude.
That's a
Yeah,
Digimon, Carl.
With the pink dog thing?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that
I
was
think
clearly
Jinx
Digimon.
is. I think Jinx is a pretty
It's
good.
fun,
But Nicki Minaj is vain enough that she might not want somebody who looks pretty similar to her.
yeah.
Okay, so
That's why I went with Snubble.
yeah, that's
What
why
the fuck
he
is
went with
Snubble?
Snubble.
Fuck is
Is the best
Snubble?
form of
That
compliment.
yellow, no, not
Yellow?
yellow. Oh my god.
God, I
That-
remember
that
my
pink
first time
dog
labeling Pokemon.
that the detective had.
I wish it just turned out like, yeah, this is not a Pokemon, this is just my dog.
It's a blanket. No, that was a really good scene.
That, okay.
And what's
Yeah,
your
I'm
favorite
sorry.
scene?
Yeah, what's your favorite scene?
What's my favorite scene? That's a good question.
Don't tell me to shut up this
Oh
my podcast.
no, it's Mr. Mime. The Mr.
Mr.
Mime
Mime,
interrogation
yeah,
scene,
Creepy.
phenomenal.
Dude, that was
it
a
was
great,
so
like,
great. It was so well
detective
done.
novel.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, it was
so
very
like it was just pure comedy.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like everybody hates mimes. Mimes are creepy as hell.
Yeah, and
So
he
let's
looked creepy
So of
as
course
fuck.
you like them.
let's make fun of it. No, let's make fun of him trying
like,
to
I'm
get
getting your
away.
wheelhouse
He's
now.
like running in place.
he's
like,
trying to get away.
He's not even running. He's not
I
moving.
should've worn a helmet.
It's so great.
That was very like fun cartoony.
Yeah, like,
did
that
remind
is something-
Me of, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit a little bit.
But-
That's like where it closely felt like Who.
Yeah, and that's. I feel like this is kind of trying to do the same thing of Who
and
Framed
not
Roger
as
Rabbit.
successful.
Oh, I
but-
completely disagree. Because Who Framed Roger Rabbit, animation-wise, it was kind of interesting that they're working together, but the animation itself wasn't great for the time. Even like there was better type.
Excuse me.
No, it's
They
not.
consider like real lighting in that too. Like whenever
Ooh.
you gotta watch it again, dude. It holds up really.
No,
well.
it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
I mean, I understand the limitations, but I think this does a better job of like.
And even like I'd say that we're not reviewing Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but that has like an easier to follow story. It's a lot more solid.
Sure, it does. Who killed who? What's the
But you-
murder
I don't
thing?
know.
There's a murder
feel
thing that
you-
Roger Rabbit's dying, but then it's saying who framed him. Because isn't Roger
Well,
Rabbit supposed
you know
to be
what? I
dead?
put
And
that on
then
the rewind.
good, let's
list,
do it.
so
Because
we'll eventually watch
when
it.
you rewatch it, you will realize this is a confusing ass story. Because it starts with her Jessica Rabbit coming to say, "Hey, anyway." No, but Mr. Mime was great. I thought that was a really well done
Wally,
scene.
Didn't you want to tell us something about the Mr. Mime
Okay,
scene?
so
No, he doesn't. We were going to
Yes,
move
he
on.
does.
We're
No.
gonna move on here. We're
Hannah?
gonna- Okay.
Hannah,
Carl,
then
what was
you-
your
You
favorite
are
scene?
a guest in my apartment and on this podcast.
you cannot
Wally,
silence. Yeah,
you cannot
Slandering-
silence
slandering
the
my name.
truth.
Slander.
Go
So,
ahead,
Hannah,
Wally.
Hannah doesn't know much about Pokemon,
Well, thanks.
but the internet
This isn't,
is very
this
helpful.
isn't slander, guys. Sorry. This
Slander.
is honestly true.
This is
And what-
facts.
yeah.
This is
what-
facts. Like
When you were thinking of Mr. Mime, who did you describe this character as to me?
I said he's the guy that fucks Ash's mom.
He's the thing that fucks Ash's
Hey.
mom.
Say it louder.
said
they
Walter,
Say it
they
louder.
are
called it a
the
thing.
they are the creature that fucks Ash's mom. Let's give them some
Let's give
autonomy.
him some props.
But honestly, that's kind of true. See, that's the one thing, Mr. Mime. I don't
he's,
think
like,
in the
he's
show,
human enough.
Mr. Mime in the show, they don't. At least the one that's with Ash's mom
Does it?
isn't
it
a
doesn't-
mime. Like he
Well, yeah,
doesn't mime things or anything.
He wears an apron. Doesn't he like make their
Like
food and stuff?
he's kind of like just a slave. Like
he's like the second
Yeah.
mom.
I don't think Mr. Mimes generally are just like forever trapped in miming. I think, at least from what I remember of the show,
Like,
I think that was a really
When
unique
they're
thing.
miming, do they actually attack that way?
Yeah, like
Okay.
they do mime thing, like they create
could put you
walls
in
and
a
stuff,
box,
like a
yeah.
protective wall or something.
Okay.
But they don't. I don't.
Bring up all
Day
your
to
past
day.
trauma so you put up walls.
Hey, it's true. Some guy lit me on fire in an invisible building, so
So you really related to that.
I
part.
did. I
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
God, I got
Yeah,
in
this
an
brings up
invisible
traumatic
motorcycle
childhood
accident, and
memories.
it did.
Being lit on fire.
Being lit
you're-
on fire.
You're dead inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wake
just
me
like
up
Mr.
inside.
Mime.
Just like
Oh
Mr. Mime.
my God, that would love that if they just started doing like music videos with all these things. That's Mr. Mime. Oh, that'd be great. Okay, so let's say our least favorite part of the movie. No, we did, Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Was
He's
the
poking
Pikachu
out,
singing?
you
Yeah.
gotta get your
The
mind.
plot to this movie is a big old freaking mess, and it's
I
just not
disagree.
interesting.
It's the
kind of
same as
predictable.
Roger Rabbit.
No.
Scene.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite scene, though?
Okay,
Or
my
no,
least
it
favorite
can be a
scene
broad thing, like
is,
least favorite thing.
is where like the old guy just tells Tim like what the mission objective for is. Just like just find Mewtwo and we'll figure out everything. And then we see like that there's holographs like all over the place. I'm like, that's really lazy writing. I thought that was a really lazy way to show like how things transpired instead of like flashbacks or something like that.
But that's how you know that he's a bad guy. You figure that out
That's so
because
lame.
he clearly has the ability to see exactly what happens, but he only shows him a certain amount.
Kind of like the media.
Yeah, the fucking media.
Fake
You know what? I love this. The fake news. It was all about fake news in this, and the one
There's
woman
that
who
one,
tried to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, MAGA, make America great again. She had the red coat because
Yeah.
she's clearly
This
she's
is a
clearly both a
Trump-friendly movie.
communist and a Republican. She's got the red coat. No, yeah,
There's that one Pokemon that
It's
has
not
like
the
Donald
movie.
Trump's like haircut. It's like that you know which one I'm talking about. The
Yes.
weasel looking one, yeah.
what?
There's a Pokemon that looks like Donald Trump.
That's
It's like
amazing.
weasel,
I
yeah.
need to do some research into this because that sounds incredible.
I wish he was in the movie.
Okay, Carl. Actually, let's go. Hannah, least
Yeah,
favorite.
least favorite part.
When during the final fight scene, Tim is fighting Ditto and he grabs a hose full of serum R or gas R or whatever they call it, and somehow instead of further enraging the creature, it just kind of disintegrates him, which completely destroys the whole structure of the plot. It doesn't even make sense. They never explain in detail.
Oh,
why
it
that
makes
caused
sense.
It makes absolutely no sense.
It does.
It kind of makes
Explain
sense to
that.
me after I thought.
Yeah,
about it.
when
He
me and
just goes
Wally,
into overload.
yeah, like that's why he transformed into
control
like 15 different creatures before eventually fizzling out. That's a huge. Hey, Trump.
I mean,
That's
like,
a great. That is honestly.
Yeah, look at
Really
that.
dumb.
She definitely
But,
was.
That's
yeah.
still a really dumb.
It was like,
last
yeah,
minute
it
choice
didn't-
to make,
yeah.
like, oh, let me grab the thing that might.
Well,
further
you
enhance
can't
my
he didn't
beat
know what it
like
was gonna do.
humans can't beat Pokemon.
Especially
Like
one that
that's
turns
an
into
every
every single
Pokemon.
Like when it came back and became that like Tauros or that like bull thing, that
Yeah.
did freak me out. I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah,
he's
like,
gonna fuck
he's
shit up.
gonna
Yeah.
die. And that
Yeah.
guy like clonked his head, and you
Yeah, I
heard
was
like,
oh, it's not dead. It's just gonna turn into what, a Pidgeotto or whatever, and it did turn into some like bird thing, and then just comes crashing.
yeah, like
This is bomb and shiny shit.
it's impossible to beat a Pokemon like that. So they had to have clearly like some way
Dude,
for
Ditto was
this.
so fucking sweet.
It was sweet. Yeah, it was very cool. No, but yeah,
That was the
I
best
I
twist is that Ditto. I always thought he was creepy as hell as a kid. I'm like, I don't like this Pokemon. They're like, we're gonna turn this like nightmare thing into one of the bad guys.
well, the funniest thing is he looks like so in the My Hero Academia like television show in the later season, like the third season, I think. At the
Yeah.
end of it, you meet these like #1 heroes in the hero course, and one of the
Showing that.
characters has those types of eyes. Like he has no like pupils. Or not
You're not
pupils,
talking
he has
about
no,
like the principal who's like the rat
No,
thing?
no,
Because he has
no,
those kind of.
because this is a he does, but this is a human who has no whites to his eyes
Yeah.
and just has
Is
like
that his
black.
quirk?
No, it's
Oh,
not.
so he's like Brock.
Kind of. He's
But that's-
creepy. He's creepier than Brock. I'll see if I can pull up a picture quick.
I wonder, like, there's got to be so many Easter eggs in this because you see so many Pokemon for like just quick glimpses, just to like really flesh out this world. I was wondering if there is like a Brock or like Ash cameo, like somewhere in there.
I didn't see any.
No, I
Or
didn't see
notice any.
because there was a couple of people that I'm like, oh, is that Misty? But none of them had that like.
Yeah, when
insane-
the girl first showed up, I'm like, she kind of seemed
Yes.
No,
Misty
she was
and
very
Misty.
much like a side, like one of the like, because I mean they always have that female like side character, like
Yeah.
the side kick, that they
of course
always
they fall in
yeah,
love,
it's like
but
the
yeah,
no they don't.
Well, I
well, they
felt
like each
as-
other, but
As far as casting goes, like she kind of looked like how you'd like imagine Misty would look if she were in
yeah,
a live
she
action.
could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she looked more like Serena from Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah, you
Oh,
punk ass
snap.
bitch.
Yeah.
We all know that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody does.
No, not at all. But
Where was Professor Oak?
yeah,
wonder
I was
Professor Oak
well.
cameo.
Obviously, the Kanto region is somewhere else in the world.
Yeah, they do mention Kanto region.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that like this is somewhere else. Like, was that I can't remember what the city is called.
Rhyme City.
Rhyme City. Is that a real city in the?
I think it's its own thing because this this whole
Pokemon,
movie
or
is based
Detective
off of the
Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu video game.
Yeah.
I've never personally played that video game.
Okay.
Dude, in that, like, he has, like, a Brooklyn accent. The Pikachu does.
Quinn, what's your least favorite scene?
Okay.
It gets weird. My least favorite scene.
Yeah. He loved this movie.
That's a
Perfect.
good question.
Was it the turtle scene? That was actually my least favorite scene.
You know, that's I'll say
that was
I'll
very
say
confusing
yes.
to
I will
watch.
say that's like
just not
and
that
people
funny.
were like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize." It's like, "What the fuck do
Yeah,
you
it
think?"
took them, like,
Obviously it was
freaking
going to
10 minutes.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the people
That's
next to me
too
were
obvious.
like, "Oh," when they
Yeah.
finally saw the eye. I'm like, "You're an idiot." Wow.
Yeah, and then
voice.
they just, like, go back and, like, just nap.
Yeah, they literally just sit back down. But that was also, I would say, some of the worst CGI
Yeah, no.
in the
They-
movie is that when they
like,
like
that was all-
jumped from one cliff to the other, it was so clear that like they just landed on a green screen and then like it
Yeah, like, it
was
was...
too clear that you could tell what was green screen and what was like a set or what was
I
actual.
feel when, like, it had, like, that noir chase scene with, like, the monkeys that looked a lot better.
Yeah,
Just
that
looking
was
at the
cool.
low lighting and, like, yeah, I really like the use of the purple and red lighting in this movie. Like, it did kind of give it, like, almost like a, like, Blade Runner and kind of, like,
Yeah.
futuristic noir feel to it.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish they kind of stuck to that, and then we just get, just wide open space. And I'm like, well, this isn't as, like, interesting looking.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
think
stylized.
I think they maybe were just trying to like make the world a little bit more diverse and different than a standard just like noir film, which is just always set in a city. It's always kind of the grungy part of town, like. And they had that in the first part, and it did look good. It looked better
when
than
you
outside,
see the
but
wild,
like
Cubone, and I do like
that was cool.
the
I
one-
actually I
The
thought that
one
was
thing
cute,
I know about
but
Cubone is like, he wears the skull of his like mom
yeah.
or whatever. And they're like, they did mention that in this. I'm like, that's
But also the proportion, like he went from one size when he was like by himself, and then this is like
this is the Cubone.
yeah, he's like screaming, and then he looks like bigger.
Yeah.
And then
did
when
look
he
like
started
kind of beefed up a
running,
little bit,
when
and
he
then he's
started
really
running
small.
towards
There was some
them, it was
discrepancy
just like
with the
yeah,
sizes
very
there.
small. Yeah, proportions were a little skewed. So Carl, did we already ask you what your least favorite?
No.
Okay, what's your least favorite?
I don't really have a least favorite. I just
Was it
hate
the creepy
the
scene
thing
with
that
the
irritates me is the
grinning?
choppiness of the story.
Yeah.
Like that's the one thing that irritates me.
Well,
I
guess
don't
that
really
was
have
me
a
too, but,
least
like,
favorite
my
scene.
least favorite scene was like the turtle scene.
Well, it's just like
Yeah.
there was no general outline or guideline to the landscape. Like 1 minute their car is parked out there and they're walking across the field, the next they're in this
running-
forest ravine
it
thing,
didn't really
and then
make
they're
any
right next
sense.
to the car again.
Yeah, where
That
did
scene
that like
wasn't really,
river
like, planned
come
out.
from?
It
Yeah.
wasn't well
Was it
scoped
under
out.
the turtles? Like
I don't know, but they sat that like they
somehow
did. They
end up
would
in
have.
this like ravine. Yeah, that part really just made no sense. Like it just felt very. Like, it was a super choppy.
It was just trying to show off like the expansiveness. Yeah, like
I
hey,
did
look,
like
we made
the-
giant things.
They even like put some like horror elements into this, which I appreciate. Like with the Greninjas,
Yeah,
it kind of made them really creepy.
yeah, like
yeah, it felt alien-esque how they were just like holding that girl at that one point.
yeah, and
Up in like a cocoon where it's just their tongue. I'm like, this is so freaking silly, but I love it at the same time.
yeah, and it felt like
'Cause, yeah,
when they were in
Those like turtle things, those like scarves around their neck, that's actually their tongue. Yeah.
didn't you
I
know
had no
the
idea.
turtle things, not the turtle things.
Not the turtle things,
The frog.
Yeah, the
frog
Greninja.
things.
Yeah, the frog
Yeah.
things. But yeah, she's totally rattled. Her entire worldview has changed
You know, after watching
dramatically.
the entire film in which they use their tongues as weapons and proceed to rap one of the main characters.
They got
Well,
strong.
hey,
They
you know,
got
when you
stronger
see them
tongue game than
initially, it's
Bucky.
kinda-
It finally makes sense.
They got stronger tongue game than Bucky.
From the cartoon and the video games, you can't tell it's the tongue.
Yeah.
It's very clear.
Do you know Bucky and his
Yeah, he was in this
legendary tongue game?
He was the pink.
He was,
bulldog.
yeah.
That was the Bucky.
Well, he didn't lick. No, he's lick-a-tongue
He's
for
licking
sure.
tongue, yeah.
Like that's Bucky's main thing is like I'm gonna lick
I'm gonna
everything and
use
anything. Yeah, but yeah, I think.
I don't know if we have much
Well,
bad
no.
to say about the movie besides the
Yeah, like there is pacing and I feel like the pacing was fine. It was just the
story was
confusingness of the plot.
Yeah.
And the
whole
like
thing, like, the
clear
bad
need
guys
to create to throw as much cool Pokemon stuff at you rather than
that was
building
it.
out a world.
That was all good to use for world building at the end. I didn't like just at the end like, oh, this villain is just a madman.
I don't know. I kind of liked, and it was weird that.
I mean, it did like tie in like how his spoilers. We hadn't said that all, but we've been spoiling this whole movie.
Yeah,
his dad
you gotta
is
remember
the Pikachu,
this.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah, his dad is the Pikachu,
So that's
and
how he's able to talk.
well, and
Which is
the
another
comparison.
big, like, plot hole of like, how did he not recognize his own father's voice? I mean, it had been like
Because he hadn't
Yeah,
hadn't
like
seen
10
him for
years or
10
something.
years.
Yeah.
Dad's voice doesn't change
Oh, you don't
that
know.
much.
Oh, that's not true.
If
Oh.
you're
there was one
supporting
point
your
where I'm
father,
like, oh, it's
reminiscing
gonna be
of
like
him.
his dad is the Pikachu, but I'm like, that's absurd. They're not gonna do that, but they did. And
Yeah,
it worked.
they did. But also, I like the comparisons between like the two sets of like father-son dynamics. Like the father-son of villain.
That was so forced.
Was it?
Yeah, it was so forced.
I
They
Why?
just like
All
say
those
like,
were
oh, I
very
should have
edgy.
spent more time with my boy, and he wouldn't have turned
Should've
out like
spent
this.
No,
more time
but
with my
that's-
dad, or he wouldn't have, tried to.
It's just such a
incorporate everyone
throwaway
against the will of
line.
the Pokemons, as one does.
Okay. It
It's
seemed
just
very.
not interesting.
It
It's
seemed
like, oh,
very fit for the show. Like that's okay. That's my biggest complaint about this is that they didn't know whether to be a kids movie or an adult movie.
But he's alive, so we get to do a do-over. Yay!
Okay, cool story. No, it's I
It
don't know.
definitely felt like a kid. I felt like maybe more of like an '80s kids movie where you had some edge
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah,
Where it's like
I can
it's
agree
not for
with
the
that.
younger kid. Even though you're gonna take young kids to see this Pokemon.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
but I think this is like a fantastic like kids movie. I think like if your kids like Pokemon, they're gonna love this movie.
Yeah. Or if you
and
like
even if you don't
Pokemon,
know Pokemon that much, I feel this was like it's a pretty good entry point.
I don't think you're the person to talk to.
Yeah.
Hannah, how do you
What do you
think?
think?
Yeah, what do you think?
Overall,
So you-
just
Yeah,
like,
well, like, okay, yeah, we can do
'cause you
that,
did
but
seem,
like, also,
very
like, as
confused,
somebody
like,
who
how this
doesn't
world
really
kinda,
know
like, works.
very much
No,
It's
about
like they're
it.
more than just animals.
Okay.
Like they're
okay,
very
I have
sentient.
a general idea of how Pokemon works. I know, basics of it is you trying to accumulate so many, and
They never say that.
That is the weirdest way to phrase that.
Yeah, gotta catch 'em all, just
you
say
must,
it.
you must
Just
accumulate as many as you can.
Into your pocket.
anyway,
They're pocket man
from-
monsters.
Your
My
Pokemon.
favorite show.
coming from someone who didn't grow up watching Pokemon but heard about it a lot, it was fun. It was weird because in my mind, Pikachu is this cute little side character that, farts lightning.
Mhm.
So to see him
Yeah.
as this,
Legit, yeah.
to see him as this like
that's about it.
sarcastic,
it comes
kind
out
of
as
sardonic character is just weird.
It was weird, but
And it was
yeah,
like
it works.
it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It was definitely for the fans. There was not a lot of explanation to the hows and whens. There was a little bit, like at the beginning, just to establish the narrative of the movie itself, but it didn't really go into the world because, like I said, it's for the fans. So coming off of it, I had a fun time. It was good. I was able to follow the story, but I don't know if it's like, okay, I know the Pokemon now.
I know all the. I'm a Pokemon master.
Yeah, you're not gonna know
I
every
am
single
Ash.
one after
No.
watching it.
No.
I am.
But they focus on the one you know.
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
They're
Bulbasaur.
like,
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, he'll be.
Oh, God.
Where was
Pikachu.
Meowth? I want
Meow. That's right.
Dude, where was
Okay,
Team
Carl.
Rocket? Where were they blasting off?
They're blasting each other off.
Oh, yeah,
Carl, so
They're
yeah,
having
let's
hard
do a
times.
little bit of a wrap up, a little bit of a final.
So you want me to rate this then?
Nah, yeah, I guess we can start that.
Well,
We'll
what
jump-
what the fuck moments?
What the fuck moments?
Yeah. what was
Okay,
your
we
what the
can.
fuck
Yeah,
moment?
what's your what the fuck moment, Carl? And then go.
There's so
into-
many.
That's why I was kind of avoiding it. But
What was your top 3 what the fuck moments?
Jesus Christ, wow.
I don't-
We already have an hour.
Okay, my top 3 was definitely seeing Ditto's eyes on a human's face. That was terrifying.
That's definitely one.
When the cute little purple monkeys turned evil, that did kind of freak me out.
The A-pumps.
Whatever. No, was Gen 8, whatever.
No,
They're Gen 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're.
I don't
yeah.
remember those.
You're
And the fact that there was no Blaziken in this movie is really disappointing. Blaziken's one of my favorites.
Okay, my 3 what the fuck moments were when Tim opens the veil and releases the R serum right off the bat, and he's like, "What is this?"
Yeah, and just like
And he
shoves
just-
it out the window.
so
Just-
dramatic,
that was
so
so
over the top.
dumb.
Yeah.
When the bad guy car shows up and they just Pikachu even
That's a
acknowledges
bad guy's
that's the
car.
bad guy's car, and they get in, and then when Pika is mortally wounded by a pebble,
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing the
that
entire,
was
you know,
kind of
earth
dumb.
shaking, and they're, you know, boulders are flying
Yeah,
at
they're
them.
perfectly
They're
fine
barely
from
being,
that.
you know, they barely have a
That
scratch. But he
reminded me
dies.
of the
He almost
scene
dies from a
in the
pebble.
first Hobbit movie where like there's those rock giants fighting one another
Yeah.
and they're perfectly fine after that.
Yeah, that's a childish sort of thing in The Hobbit, which it's kind of supposed to be, but this felt very similar.
And then yeah, like it would just felt like so real. Like he can be killed by just like a rock hitting
Yeah,
him. I
just
was
like
holy
one
shit.
tiny little
Yeah.
thing, and they're
Just hits him in
constantly
the
teasing
chest,
like
yeah.
a giant. Like there's multiple giant boulders falling
Yeah,
towards them.
yeah,
at
and he's
any
getting
given
thrown
time.
around by like Charizards and Blastoise throughout this entire fucking thing, but a little rock just
Yeah, just
doesn't.
right in his heart, and then there's no damage. You can't see
Yeah.
anything. He's not spurting blood everywhere.
Wanted to
Carl?
see the soul leave his
Carl,
body.
yeah, I wanted to see just a little
Out of his
soul
bum.
out of his bum.
Yeah,
Out of his,
because that's how souls.
okay, Carl, 3 what the fuck moments.
Alright. Ditto's eyes on a person.
Oh, Greninja was
yeah.
also what the fuck moment for me.
I love Gengar. I thought that was great.
All the tongue action in this movie.
Oh, it's all action, yeah.
From,
Sounds
from
so
the
bad.
There was
from
so
the
much,
lick-
dude. There's
from
so
the
much
licking
stuff.
Carl
tongues
made
to the
out with the kid next to
Greninjas.
him.
There was, you know what? There's a lot of good tongue.
There,
No,
there
not
was.
You want a good tongue movie? Check out Pokemon.
Check out Pokemon, and we're not just talking about the girl Carl was making out with. How old is she, Carl? 6.
Well,
What the
You
fuck?
dropped 10 to
That's
6.
my what
She
the,
was at least
that's my
double
what the
digits.
fuck moment.
She was at least double digits.
That don't make it
She was
legal,
10 and a half.
Christ.
10 and a half.
That is
Okay.
yeah, that was weird how they projected that on the screen.
Yeah, I feel like this fucking sicko with his butter dick.
I'm
Jesus.
changing my new what the fuck moment.
I am too.
Then the third would have to be how they beat the bad guy in this movie. Just taking the mind control thingy.
Yeah, I thought he
when
was gonna I thought they switched bodies, but they like melded bodies.
Yeah, I was hoping for something a little more interesting.
Right.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
They
he's
should
yawning.
just push that old man out of the window at that point.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Just push him out the window.
Die!
Yeah.
No, they threw a little rock at him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little pebble
Little
just
tiny
like
rock.
comes
It
out of
goes
nowhere.
straight through it. Like you just see, like he just shoot out the back. It's all covered in blood. Jeez Louise.
And then you see the camera pans and it's just a Geodude. It's like
Geo dude.
threw a rock at him. Yeah, he's like
Dude.
Geo dude.
there were no Geodudes. In
No,
this.
there
I was
wasn't.
That would have been really freaky.
I think
to
there
see
was a
Geodude.
golem though.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, there was. I guess my three what the fucks moment was when Arya killed the Night King. When she then like promptly spurned Gendry's attempts to like marry her. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
And then
Tyrion died.
well,
dude,
no,
because he
Tyrion
buys
hasn't
in every
died yet.
episode. He's the Kenny of the South.
No,
He's
there's
the Kenny
I
of the Game
I
of
would
Thrones
say
universe.
I would say like the dragon dying. Like now she's
That
down
was-
to just
that was from
one.
the last season.
She's down to
Oh.
one now. They killed the other
Did they
one.
kill the other one? That's
Yeah.
fucked up, dude.
There's only her
Is
one.
he also a
She's
zombie dragon?
She is turning into the Mad King and or
Yeah.
the Mad Queen, and like it's crazy, man. But
Dude,
yeah,
when they
that's
go up
yeah.
Agnes's butt
Detective
together, they're like,
Pikachu.
Let's end
It's
this
weird. Yeah,
together."
her and Jon Snow fuck each other incestually in Thanos' ass. It's really weird.
Oh, they're related?
Pink.
Yeah, they're related.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
he's her nephew. So
Oh.
her older brother had
Process.
had sex with
Ugh.
or like kidnapped Sean Bean's younger sister, and they had a baby, and that's Jon Snow.
Isn't her name like Liliana or
Yeah,
Liana?
Lizana. Yeah, no, Lizana's
Lasagna.
Lizana's the
What else can we
other one.
Sansa is his
Well,
daughter.
yes, but Lizana is it's Stannis' daughter, I think. Lizana, and then Melisandre.
Melisandre is not.
No, she's not anything related. She's just the red
Where are we
witch.
going with
Dude, that scene where we see
And then
Pikachu die,
what is her
that was
name?
really
The Danny's
that was
right
fucked
hand
up,
girl.
dude.
That
You
was,
see,
Danny's right hand girl, the slave girl. She gets murdered.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
and
And then
then
the little
Black
thing-
Panther's like
Black-
Wakanda forever.
Black Panther comes out of a portal, says Wakanda forever, and,
And
then
then
promptly
disappears.
dies. Promptly gets his head cut off.
Freddie
No.
Mercury joins
Okay.
the fight.
So we're going to the fuck rating, guys. Okay. Who
Yeah.
can remember exactly what it is? Nobody.
Shit,
So
I forgot my sketch.
Wally, we'll go with you.
Okay,
Yeah. So
I'm giving this. I kind of give a fuck about this movie.
no,
It's two fucks.
it's two fucks.
2 fucks and a hand job or blow job.
Is it? Wait, you kind of give a. That's no,
That's
no,
a kind
no.
of give a fuck.
You're
yeah.
completely
It's 2.5
changing your
fucks.
rating.
No,
That is, I don't
No, no,
give
no, no,
two
no,
fucks
no.
about this movie.
I don't give 2 fucks about this movie. Is 2 fucks, but I'm giving 2 fucks and a blowjob. So it's I kind of give a fuck about this movie because 3 fucks.
No,
is
it's I
give
don't
a
give
fuck
2
about this.
fucks and a blowjob about this movie.
That no.
That's what
No.
That's
I'm
what we established.
No,
For
no,
now
no,
on,
It
no.
is.
the
I wrote
sketchbook
it down.
needs
That's
to
what
be
we-
here
that's
for
what
the
we
ratings.
No, no,
established.
no.
Is
I
I-
wrote it down. I wrote it
So
down on the
Hannah,
table.
we have
I
a
kind of
five.
give-
We have a
yeah.
5
It's
tier
2.5
thing.
stars.
Shut up.
2.5
We have a
fucks.
5 tier thing. And we have I fucking love this movie. We have I give 2 fucks about this movie.
I
we
give
say,
a fuck
I
about
give
this
a
movie,
fuck
and I'm
about this
saying
movie.
2.5
And
is I
shouldn't
kind
it
of
be
give a
I
fuck.
don't give 2 fucks about this movie.
That's
and
2 stars.
then
But
that's
2.5 stars is I
Yes,
kind of give.
I don't give a fuck and a blowjob about this movie. That's our rating system.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
It's 2. So I don't give 2 fucks.
Because I feel
And
like
then
2.5
the
stars is
extra-
like at least it's decent.
Guys,
It's
they
not-
have been fighting
He's
over
wrong.
this since Princess Bride,
He's-
for fuck's
It's
sake.
2.5 fucks out of 5.
Great. You totally okay,
Just
Hannah.
fucking say that, Christ.
Hannah,
2 stars.
2 stars.
So
She
you
doesn't
don't
give
give
2
2
fucks
fucks.
about this movie.
I
So
give
now
okay,
it
fine.
works.
I give 2 fucks and a blowjob
That's
about this movie.
4 stars. 4.5 stars.
Fuck no. Fuck no. I don't give 2
Yeah,
fucks.
you don't
Everybody,
give 2 fucks about
you
this
heard,
movie.
you
I
just
don't
heard
give
it.
2
Wally
fucks.
absolutely loves Detective
film of the year.
Pikachu.
Best film of the year. Carl?
Gonna win. It's gonna sweep at the Oscars.
I think it's the
Okay.
best film of the summer, I'd say.
What
We
was
don't have a lot
3?
coming. 3 is
I give a fuck.
Avengers? No.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then I
I
give
would say it is as a standalone thing. It's not a fucking. I only liked
Yeah.
Avengers because it was the culmination of something. This was at least kind
It
of
was
different.
fine until like
Okay,
the middle though.
so it's
Still different.
I give a fuck about this movie and a blowjob. So 3.5.
Okay, 3.5.
Wow, that's really tame for you, Carl. I fucking gave 2 fucks and a blowjob about this movie.
No, I'll give this movie. I give 2 fucks about this movie.
You're giving this
I
4
do.
stars?
I would give this 4 stars.
Christ, right?
I think
Wow.
CGI wise, it looked really good.
Yeah, where it
I
like,
think
needs to succeed.
story-wise-
yeah, it fails in story.
Story wise, it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Go back
Well,
and
you
watch
should- I
the
don't
original
think you should
Pokemon. It's not
low-
that. It's not that intriguing. It's
I
not
don't
that
think you should lower
compelling.
your standards like, oh, it's a kids movie, so they got it dumbed down the plot. I don't think that's fair.
No, they just have to do a very basic plot, which is what they did. It's a very basic
Yeah.
noir plot.
But
Like,
at the
most
same
of those
time, it's
noir
so
movies are
challenging.
quick.
It could have been more fun with the noir stuff and the Pokemon stuff, which it leaned into more
Noir.
in like that first half, and then we're in like this Area 51 like rip off sort of thing where I'm like, this is just boring. I'm like,
That's
let's just
like-
get to the big battle.
That's the
with it.
bandit hideaway. Like that's part of the noir is that like they go to the docks,
Also,
which it's
okay,
always in the fucking docks.
Another what the fuck moments that like these couple of kids are able to go to this like secret
That
government
was
facility.
mine.
And there's
no
cars,
security.
There's no security.
There's no
Yeah,
security.
there was a
at
fallout,
all.
but there'd be. Yeah,
They
yes,
break
you
in
can
the
have, like,
ceiling.
remote- yeah, they get into the building, no problem. It's just
they,
a progressive. That was insane. Yeah.
there's always even in abandoned buildings. There's always a security guard.
Yeah.
like
I wonder, is there like a security guard like Pokemon they could have put? Like, yeah, they have like a Machamp's, like, with two of his arms crossed, and then like the other ones are like, I'm ready to fight
they're
something.
dancing.
They're just dancing.
Do.
That was another what the fuck for me. The Machamp
God.
in this was not the right color. The blue was too dark of a blue.
Hey
It
man,
needed to be lighter.
some
It was
people
not-
might say that your skin tone is too dark too. But we don't.
It was
We
not
don't
the
listen.
right-
We don't listen to those
Back
people.
me up on this, Pokemon.
We don't
Master.
listen
That
to
was
those
not the
people
right
because we
blue
love you
for
just the
Machamp.
we love you just the way you are,
Carl.
Wally. And sometimes the
Carl,
Machamp,
back me up.
sometimes the Machamp colors can be a little different from
Dude,
what they look
come
like in the
on.
cartoon.
Come on, Carl. It's like it should be like it's
Jigglypuff
like
didn't
a
look as
blue
pink
gray.
as they
It was
should.
just blue. Come on, Carl. Back me up here.
Jigglypuff,
I'm gonna have to rewatch this movie.
Oh my god.
Jiggly.
He was there guiding traffic in the best scene as the Snorlax.
He
was sleeping
looked
there.
fine.
The blue was too dark.
You're wrong. It was
He was
dark.
in a shaded
Yeah, it
area,
was
I
dark.
believe,
No.
in that,
Yeah, it
in
was
that scene.
dark.
I thought you were talking about the scene with the Ditto turning into the Machamp.
Waiting for you guys to see
No,
it.
that was the right color though. He
That
the right
was.
color.
That's because it was in light, Wally.
No, you're
Do you
wrong.
know what shadows are?
No,
Um.
I have no idea.
Okay.
It's an art.
Okay. So guys, that's our review of
Well, and then
Pokemon
yes, on a
movie.
high note.
That's the review of Pokemon
discrepancy of
of
one
Pikachu,
color.
of Detective Pikachu. I think all
It's
combined,
weird. Go see it.
we have I give a fuck and a hand job about this movie. I think is the about the average for us. Now we're
So
gonna
what,
go
three
to
and a
our.
half, fuck?
It's
No,
three,
that's
and, a
3
quarter.
and a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
So
fair.
that's like the in between. So
I don't give 2 fucks in a blowjob. Still sounds weird to me, but I guess that's what we're calling
Yeah.
it. Because
So-
I can never win.
Jesus.
well, because you need 2 negatives to 2 positives and then a neutral one. So you can't just say this movie's like it's we
Well,
have no
where's
negatives.
I kind of give
Do we
a
have?
fuck about this.
That's the middle. That's 3. Is
No,
I
it's-
kind of give a fuck
I give
about
a fuck about this movie is 3. Because that's not middle. That's
Oh my
because
god.
5,
a
Oh
single
my
fuck.
2 and a half.
I don't
would be
care. I will
half
give
about-
you a single fuck or I will give you none. That's
Figure it out in the comments.
okay.
Yeah.
Nobody will comment on this.
Nobody
Nobody
will
listens.
No one's gonna watch.
Grant-
listen to this.
Grant,
This is the
call
grand
us.
finale.
Grant, this is you. Call us. You're the only fan we've got.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I, chopped liver?
You don't listen to the
Yeah,
podcast.
I do. I'm subscribed.
You
On the
might be
YouTube,
subscribed.
I
Do you
listen.
listen to?
Yeah, when we first started dating, I was listening to it all the time.
Well, okay. To the podcast itself or to the YouTube?
the YouTube.
'Cause that has not been updated
Not been
in a
updated.
long
Months,
ass
yeah.
time. Wally has been
Working
so
on it,
behind.
people.
Okay, so let's go to our fucking recommendations for the week. So, Carl, what's something you recommend?
Oh shit. I just recently started playing Star Ocean. It's a video game
Oh,
that's
that's
been out
really
for like a few years.
that
I've
on
been
the
sitting on.
Switch?
It's for PS4.
I love Star
I've been
Ocean.
sitting on that game for like 2 years. I think that game's been out now.
And you're like, it's.
I finally bought it
right,
for like
it's
$9.
right.
I'm just like, you know what? I'm so bored. I want to get back into playing video games. That's what I've been fucking with.
Nice. Sean had that for the PS2 and he really liked it, and I played it a little bit and it was really good. Wally, what's your fuck recommendation? What's your fucking recommendation for the week?
Go see Pokemon.
Go see
Go see
Pokemon. Okay,
Pikachu.
wow. So he doesn't give two fucks and a blowjob about this, but he will recommend
I
you
said
go
I
see
do.
it.
God damn it. It's not 4.5. It's
No, you don't give two
okay.
fucks.
We didn't even mention this. We should say, like, of all the video game movies I've seen, it is by far the best video game.
That's a really good standard to live by. Like
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that. I
Yes.
think
Besides
for
Rampage, I mean, but no one
it
else
beat
is gonna,
out Rampage.
no one
It
else
has
is
a
gonna-
way better score than
It
Rampage.
does, but no
and
one's gonna agree with me that Rampage is good because no one cares.
it might be
about
good, but
Rampage.
I think it's Pikachu's better.
Dude,
And,
it has Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And it has
it's
giant
good.
monsters
Dwayne
in it,
The
right?
Rock Johnson. Okay,
He's just
Hannah?
Dwayne Johnson now. He doesn't.
Hannah, you got a recommendation?
He's always going to be The Rock for
I
me.
recommend that you get your mother a Mother's Day card.
I was going to say that, but I forgot.
Mom.
Treat
Good
your
call.
mom nice this weekend.
Don't
Treat
steal
your
my
mom.
recommendation.
Treat your mom.
And go
This
take her to
weekend-
see
This weekend. That's
Go
it.
see her Detective Pikachu.
Moms Love
Jesus
Ryan Reynolds. Go take her to see Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
Better yet,
they
take her
do.
to see- Go buy Deadpool and make her watch that.
Yeah, and then watch
Watch
Magic
the
Mike
whole
with her.
like Deadpool trilogy. Deadpool 2.
Once Upon a Deadpool.
And cap it off with the
Detective
fourth
Pikachu.
Yeah, with Detective Pikachu.
Yep.
She'll love it.
It'll be a good cleanse.
Yeah, it'll be a good cleanse. You don't get to see as much Ryan Reynolds, but you do get to see a little bit of it.
A little bit
no.
A little bit of
Well,
it.
at the end, you do see him for a little bit.
I liked it
Um,
better when his body was in the Pikachu's.
I really wish that they just would have had a tiny little Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Just all
And
the
they
Pikachu's
paint
head,
him.
yeah.
They paint him yellow and put
Oh,
little red
yeah.
cheeks on it.
Yeah, they could have. Yes, they could have saved a
just
lot of
running
money on
around.
this. Yeah,
It's 10,000 steps, or it's 100,000 steps for me this
I
hour.
did not like
The
that
size of
Fitbit
grapes.
joke. He wasn't even wearing a Fitbit.
Well, didn't you see at the end he's wearing the Fitbit and he has 100,000 steps on it? It's not. It's not. That's just
that's so. You got
that's
me.
my
dude.
meta stuff.
You fucked me.
Maybe
dude.
he does. That'd be really
fucked
funny
me.
if that's what they meant it to be,
Wait,
but it
what's your
just said
fucking
103.
recommendation?
But my fuck recommendation, there's a new Netflix show. It's called Bonding. It's pretty like, I don't know. It's I think I might be a little bit too old for it, but it's kind of doing some interesting things, and it's kind of
Which one are you watching
Funny.
on these
What
kids
interesting
program?
things happen in your
It's
life
not
when you're watching
kids.
things alone.
it's not Riverdale.
God.
Yeah, but
We
it's
gotta review that.
fuck off. I actually watched
was
the season of
joking.
that. It's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. It's insane. It's stupid. It's dumb. Don't watch it.
They like
Try
murder each
Bonding.
other, right?
Yes, they murder each other. That's the whole show. It's the Archie comics, but they're murdering each other. So,
Isn't
yeah.
that it?
No, it's not. No.
It's like a killer in like Riverdale or whatever.
Well, they're trying to
That's-
figure out,
Yeah,
like,
that's the adaptation of the Archie comics.
They
We
f-
just have a murderer going around.
well, they just
killing-
they think somebody was murdered, but I don't think it ends up being that he
I
was
wanna
murdered. I
see
think he's
the
still
Archie
alive.
meets Predator crossover that's in the
Okay,
comics.
I will say
That
that
should be live
intro,
action.
that intro felt very much. I don't know what movies do,
What intro
what action
of this movie?
Action movies always have that.
Also, yeah, the credits is the best part of this movie because we get to see
Sure,
the
sure.
drawings
Okay,
of the
well,
Pokemon.
great,
And we
thanks,
get to
great,
see anime versions
awesome,
of
great. Yeah, you're right.
of all the characters.
Of all the characters,
Right,
great.
Okay, fuck off.
Yeah, great. No, sure, fuck you, Wally. I have more to say. No,
Fuck off.
but it's just fuck you.
More to say.
You're muted.
Am I muted?
No, you're not.
Okay.
No, you are.
No.
But
No.
no, they always have the same intro where it's like, oh, we're going to the bad guy. Like in Predator, they did the same thing where it's like this like sweeping shot through this forest, and then you
That's
see
true,
like it's
that's true.
always the same intro for these types of actiony movies.
Yeah.
But
But it reminded me of Dragon Ball, so that's a good
yeah.
thing.
Okay. So yeah, on that we'll leave you.
Fuck off.
You know what, guys? Yeah, fuck off.
Fuck off.